Okay, in this video, we're gonna be talking about how Haaland is still able to grow at 23 years old when most people's growth plates closed, or when most people stop growing way before then. Alright, so I'm gonna be going through everything he's been doing to maintain a good body, to maintain a good growth environment, and to keep his growth plates open for this while. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is his training. So he doesn't do your typical training, right? He doesn't go to the gym and bodybuild and powerlift or any of that. He trains for speed, okay? And this is a completely different type of style of training, okay? This type of training keeps your body in great shape, so it keeps you extremely lean, burns off a lot of fat, it keeps your fast twitch muscles active, it helps you become more explosive and better at the sport you're playing, and ultimately just allows you to be as athletic and fit as possible when you speed train, okay? So he prioritizes speed training over, strength training, all right? And I think that's one of the key reasons on why he's able to, be as athletic as he is, and how his growth plates might still be open, okay? Because you gotta think about it. Whenever you're, sprinting or using your legs a lot, it's sending growth hormone spikes to your legs. So, like for example, when you sprint, let's say you do like 3 sprints, right? Your body is in a stressed environment and it starts sending growth hormone to recover the leg area. So it starts surging GH throughout the legs and increases the blood flow. And that can definitely play a big part on how he was able to just, keep growing at 23 years old, okay? And also it improves your speed, and improves your stamina, and improves your coordination. So if you're playing these sports, or if you're just maneuvering through life, this will all benefit you every single way. Okay, there's no downside to speed training other than like overdoing it, you know what I mean? So definitely start adding this into your daily routine, or not your daily routine, but your weekly routine. Add some speed training days in there. So what you can do is right before you go play a sport, you do some speed training right before that. And not only will that warm you up for the sport, it will also, and give you all these extra benefits too. And by the way, if you want to, probably do a speed training, I don't really have a routine for you. So I might make one and put one in the link in the description. I don't know. But if I don't, there's definitely going to be a lot of good ones on the internet, and try to find one that's like Haaland style too, because that's like the best, right? Erling Haaland speed drills. But after I try finding this video, I just got this picture off the internet, but to be honest, try finding this video might actually be pretty good. So now I'm going to tell you how to probably recover, and I'm going to tell you how to probably do other stuff. But second is recovery. So this is even more important than the speed training. The speed training, this is just, the workout, and this is the basics, right? But you need to go deeper into that. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is the bottom of the iceberg, right? And the bottom of the iceberg is way more important and way bigger, right? So you need to start doing sauna and cold plunges, okay? So, Haaland talks about this a lot. He talks about how he was doing a lot of saunas and cold plunges. He doesn't do it every single day, and you don't have to do this, right? This is optional. Ideally, just focus on sleep, diet, and sunlight, but this is some extra stuff, because I know you guys don't always like to give the basics, okay? So he doesn't do this every day, so he does this maybe like every other day. Maybe he does it every day, sit here and there, but most of the time he does it every other day. And he does this, I believe it's every single night, right before he eats his dinner. So you can start doing that too. You can start implementing the sauna and cold plunge strat. So what you can do is you can hop in the sauna for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you hop like in the cold plunge. So that can either be a cold shower. Ideally it's like a ice bath, but for most people you don't have access to this. So if you do, hop in for like 1 or 2 minutes. If it's a cold shower, hop like 3 to 4 minutes, okay? And switch back and forth, so contrast it every single, probably 10 minutes. Do that like 3 to 4 times, all right? And once you're done with that, you want to eat a meal. So I'm gonna get into that in just a little bit, but another thing you can do for your recovery is like therapy. So Haaland does this every single morning. So if you don't have if you live in a spot where there's not that much sunlight around you, so places like Manchester, where he lives, there's not that much sunlight around. So relight therapy is a great source of, replicating the sunlight that you would normally get. And sometimes it can even make it a little bit better, just because it's right like on top of you. So you can use like 10 minutes every single morning. All right, real life therapy is a little bit expensive. So if you have the money, invest. But if you can't, definitely get some regular sunlight. And even if you are living in a place like Manchester where the sun is covered up all day, I mean, you can still get good quality sunlight just because being outside. If you can see when you're outside, there's sun outside up there. And like there's times where, you like in the summer, for example, let's say you don't put any sunscreen on, and you still might get sunburned just because of the sunlight that's behind the clouds. Alright, so just because there's clouds there doesn't mean there's not active sunlight. So technically you don't really need this, but you can also add real light therapy in your routine anyways. Just like 10 minutes every single morning. Even if you have sunlight around you, just 10 minutes every single morning. It's quick, it's easy, and you get all the benefits it gives you for your recovery and, for your overall health. Sunlight, same part, except try to do, maybe 10, 20 minutes of sunlight in the morning. For me, I do like an hour of sunlight in the morning. I just like chill out there and do whatever because I just like doing it. But for other people, I recommend you like 10, 20 minutes of sunlight in the morning, just chill and do whatever. So you can be on your phone and then do like another 10 to 20 minute session in like the middle of the day, right before peak, peak temperature rises. That's where I live. It gets really hot once it hits like 12 p.m. to like 4 p.m. I go out again in the evening and kind of look at the sunset and get ready to go to sleep. And I'm breathing right into, basically for sunlight, try to get like 1 or 2 hours of sunlight a day. I'm breathing right into the next topic, which is sleep. So you need to be getting like 9 to 11 hours of sleep a night. So some people can get away with getting less, some people need to have more. So it really depends on who the person is. So I recommend how you find how much sleep you truly need is you just go through like a couple months, just not using an alarm clock, right? And go to bed at the same time every single night. That's all you need to do for sleep. Also, you can sleep in a cold environment, sleep in a cold room, dark room, pitch black. And then go to bed at the same time every single night and just don't wake up with the alarm clock, and eventually you will see how much sleep you truly need. Because you might think you need like 8 hours, but once you start implementing this, you might actually need 10 to 11. Or maybe you think you need like only 6 hours, but once you start doing this, you might realize you need like 8 or 9. So you never really know how much sleep you truly need because you've been, stuck with all these bad habits, built up over the years. And next is going to be diet. So diet is also going to be very important for recovery, and this is what the diet is going to be. So I got this specifically from Haaland's daily routine video. I don't think he had fruits, to be honest. I just added this in because it's just as important. But he did all this. So first, it's going to be whole foods. So foods like, fish, high quality red meat, lamb, and pork. Those are like the best of the best. But red meat's gonna be the best, right? Red meat's obviously gonna be the best. So if you can try to get high quality red meat, he gets like the meat on the bone with high quality steak. Ideally, you get that, and you can get that from like a butcher. So try to find like a local butcher around you. And if you can't get that, then just get regular steaks. And if you can't get regular steaks, then just get ground beef, and that's just as good. He eats it raw, I believe. Of course, not everyone will eat it raw. But depending on your situation, if you can get it from the butcher or if you can get it from like a farm, you can start eating it raw, right? Because for the most part, it's going to be high quality. But if you get it from the store, don't eat that raw, all right? Someone made a mistake like that in my community, I believe, and he got sick. So like, yeah, don't eat it raw from the store. Okay, that's just a bad idea. Bone broth, okay, that's also going to be really good. Have this every single morning. You can either make this homemade, which is ideal, or you can also get like packaged for bone broth, but ideally you make it homemade. You use the bone, you make a bone marrow, you make a high quality bone broth, right? Drink that every single morning. That's great for collagen and other stuff too. And so also just improve your overall health and allow you to grow taller too. Sourdough bread. So having this, I've written added, but eggs are just as important, but having sourdough bread and eggs every single morning is a great breakfast, and having some oranges on the side too. That's a great, high quality breakfast. You get all the vitamins, you support your gut health, and it just tastes really good too. So do like 4 eggs and sourdough bread every single morning, and that's a really good breakfast, right? Sourdough bread is a really good carb source, and it also supports your gut health, which is very important for digesting everything you want to eat. Next is raw milk. So he's a strong advocate of raw milk for, getting your strength. As you can see, the dude is a literal Viking, right? So, drink your raw milk, listen to the guy, raw milk has a lot of, good enzymes and nutrients. It's great for IGF-1. Even better if you can get yourself some raw cholesterol. And if you want to get raw milk, you need to go find a farm, a local farm around you. That's like a good source, right? And raw honey, you can get this from like any store, to be honest, but ideally get it from the local farm too. But yeah, and then fruits. For the fruits, ideally eat them in season, but if you don't want to, it is what it is. Ideally, spring and summertime, you're eating a lot of fruits, and then like fall and winter time, you're eating a lot of root vegetables like potatoes, beets, carrots, and stuff like that. But yeah. Finally, we're going to talk about never stressing. Okay, not a lot of people talk about this. So you don't want to be stressing, okay? And this is how you don't stress. So first, you want to live a fulfilling, purposeful life, okay? So if you're just, wasting your days away, you do a lot of cheap, neat things that gets you happy in the moment, but you never like truly fulfill deep down inside, which is a terrible feeling to have. You need to fix this. So you need to have a goal, right? So you need to have goals in life, because if you don't have goals in life, you don't have a purpose in life. So think of some things that you can definitely fix. So maybe you're kind of overweight and you would much rather have like a really good aesthetic physique. Okay, start training for that. I know earlier I said bodybuilding is bad for height growth, but it's better to, be fulfilling and happy while you're doing this than, sad and miserable trying to grow as tall as possible, right? So if you have to do bodybuilding, right, become an athlete. If that's what, will help fulfill you. If it's money, become rich, right? Start a business and start grinding, right? If it's, talking to women, start cold approaching women every single day. Just do this and you're going to feel so much more fulfilled. If you're ugly, start lip smashing, right? So this is just going to really ultimately help your life get way better. It's going to allow you to stop stressing over things that don't matter, which is going to be another topic. But yeah, that's number one. Next is enjoy your day. So as you see, Haaland right here is playing video games, right? It's okay to play video games after you get all the work done. If you watch the video right here where he was doing a daily routine, he started the day, really productive. So he had the good breakfast. He went and he started training, right? He started training. He got the hard part first done. Once he had the hard stuff done, he hopped on the game. He played some video games for a couple hours. And then he did whatever after that. So if you, can do this in moderation, this is perfect, right? So this will allow you to stop stressing over this stuff. It, will allow time to pass by and to allow you to relax. Okay, and that's how you can enjoy your days, right? Of course, you're going to start with the hard thing first, though, and that's for him was training for soccer. So start with the fulfilling, purposeful thing first. So if it's getting a good body, do your workout first thing in the morning, and then you can enjoy your day with the other stuff, right? Finally, is when you stop stressing over things that don't matter. So you got to realize a lot of things you stress about really don't matter, right? So maybe you're, stressing about over politics, and maybe it matters a little bit, but if it does matter, like, does it even really matter? Because you can't control it, right? Only stress about things you can truly control. So for height, you can't entirely control it, right? You can control it by doing mechanical methods and stuff like that too, but for the most part, you can't really control your height too much. So stressing over your height is not going to benefit you in any single way, right? Next is going to be, for other example, let's say you're in school, right? And you're stressing about all the work that your teacher's giving you or something like that, or maybe you're at work and you have all this extra work you don't want to do. Like, you can literally knock it out in a good hour or two, which is high quality time management, and then have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. Okay? So if you learn time management, that's another great skill to learn, just to not be stressing about dumb stuff. Some extra stuff that you can do is you can meditate every single morning, meditate every single night, sleep a lot, eat a healthy diet, and that's just automatically not gonna, it's automatically gonna help you not stress over dumb stuff. And that's really about it. If you're stressing about a girl, just get over it, bro. I mean, let me think of something. If you're stressing about a girl, like, let's say you like the girl and she doesn't like you back or something like that, or like she plays you, something like that. Just our focus on the live a fulfilling, purposeful life. So just chase your purpose, chase your dreams, right? That's more important. So if how you managing is what's going to fulfill you, do everything I told you in this video, right? Including this. So have basically everything you guys need to know about how Haaland grew taller at 23 years old and is still growing, I believe. So hope you enjoyed the video. And if you guys want to learn more about how I grew taller, my transformation, I don't have it on here, but if you're interested in my transformation, it'll be in the top link of the description where I have my courses. And if you're interested in that, hop in, fire join in. I also have a community too, so if you're interested in that, join the community. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.